Oops. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to all the wonderful people of the internet. Welcome to the big city, and welcome to Chapter 3 of Ghosts of Dragonspear Castle with the Infinity and Beyond crew that I am joined with, as always. I hope everyone is doing well today. Let me say hi to Zcat. That's the only problem with having this over there. I can't see it. There we go. Zcat, to Spoderman, to Sir Bruceable. What's up, Shane? What's up, Fraven? Hello, Optic, who, of course, is also playing with us. What's up, Curious? Hello, Laporce. What's up, Porquito? What is up? I see King Foom lurking, and that means that King Foom must be about to join us, because I see King Foom in the chat. What is up, Joey? What is going on, John, who, of course, is also playing with us? What's up, Glob? Hello, Foxeye. What's up, Fisk? Hello, Kamazoots. Hello, Apples. Of course, Series Runner and Inominotes. And those both, of course, are playing with me as well. So hello to everyone. Not saying this just kiss my butt. I think Arliks are cool. Oh, cool. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you like them. I've actually had a lot of people who have liked the Arliks. So something about them struck a chord. Must be the awesome axe that they wield. I think axe makes everything better, which I'm sure Sod would agree with. All right, so we are here for a continuation of Chapter 3. We hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving, and we are back for some D&D prowess. So let me bring in the guys as I unmute them. First I'll unmute myself, then there's Sod, there's Salil, there's Kate,
it's gonna get up to 90
Samiel, and Jeannie
today.
So here they all are. All right, we are all here, and everyone here apparently, except for Foom, apparently Foom is in chat, so that means I assume that he's going to be on here any moment, I would think. While we're waiting for him, happy Thanksgiving, guys. How was life with everyone?
Yeah, Thanksgiving was great. I had a grand old time.
So what I'd like you to do, normally what we try to do at the beginning of this is for people just to quickly introduce themselves and their casting identities and their character. But this time, if as you're doing that, you could just quickly throw in what your favorite food item was that you consumed this Thanksgiving, that'd be good. So I'll start with Sod, who clearly had a very high Thanksgiving, was clearly involved in Thanksgiving. As an Australian, I know that was a big important part of your
What day was it? What day was it again?
It would be at the end.
Let's see, it would have been Thursday, what was that?
28th.
Thursday.
What
did I do Thursday?
27th.
I had my ramen night, so ramen.
Nice. Oh, nice. Outstanding.
I go with Mom and a few others, and we have ramen. It's really good.
So it's like high class of ramen. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. This is like $13 ramen.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Because you see, whenever you say ramen here,
it's
typically
okay. It's this ramen shop. It's in the middle of nowhere.
You have a ramen shop?
Gotcha.
Yeah,
it's a thing, dude.
Okay.
It's not the stuff from the box that college students.
It's not the stuff that college kids subsist on for 4 years.
No. That's not ramen. That's noodles.
Okay.
We call them noodles here. Ramen. I'm talking about proper ramen in a giant bowl with meat soup.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you don't joke around. All right, that's impressive.
Good stuff. Yeah, this place is out. It's like in the middle of nowhere. It's got orange painted walls. It's like bright fluoro orange.
Wow.
And then on the menu, it has like 10 items and 10 items, and like 2 of them are ramen and the others are like non-add-ons, like dumplings and stuff like that. But it's so good.
Oh, wow.
So good.
You're sure this isn't a front for a kung fu movie? Because it sounds like it's orange walls, and then at some point the kitchen staff comes out and they're kicking ass. No, that doesn't happen.
No, they're in a really small random shop, but they have a line going out for during peak hour. You have like an hour wait sometimes.
Oh,
it's
wow.
crazy.
Well, that's cool. Cool stuff. All right, we'll talk about your character quickly and who you are on Twitch.
I am Sod with an underscore, and I guess you can call me a part-time Twitch streamer. I haven't streamed in a bit. I've had a bit of a break. But I play Dondor Grumblehammer, a dwarf fighter, and of course, you can notice I got the beard, so that's kind of representing the dwarves. And and last session was... I just basically collapsed the whole section, and we lost some sweet possible loot in a chest. As you'll see on the map eventually, if Arv goes over to it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Before we before we go on, I have to as usual thank the gift attack from, I believe this is Glob Monkey. Please tell me if that's right, Glob. I believe it is. Who sent me Killer is Dead Nightmare Edition, for which I am most grateful. And he said, hey, yo, guess who's back? So I'm pretty sure it's hard to tell because he always right now his current Steam name is a real bleep mothering vampire. And before I think it was Justin Bieber's Yeti mother, but I want to make sure that that's. I think this is Glob, but please tell me if it's true. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. It's always you. I knew it was you. I knew
It's
that.
always me.
I knew that. Thank you very much, Glob. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, sir. All right, down we go to Cade Marmadas. John, what was your Thanksgiving food stuffs?
Yeah, which is 2 days before my birthday. So
Right. Happy birthday, too, by the way.
thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I cheated. We totally cheated this Thanksgiving. I did everything was like pre-made, and I just like didn't feel like messing around with it. So the best thing I had was this cornbread and sausage stuffing. It was quite delicious.
Ah, nice.
It was very tasty. Drowned all in delicious turkey gravy. Anyways, so yes, I'm John Helvers, the non-caster of the group, but I'm an author and editor. Currently working on many things. I play Cade Marmadas, the irascible halfling thief of the group, who was saved a couple of sessions ago by the dwarf. Jordan's got to stick together.
Don't want to close, but yeah,
Let's not go that far.
it's a great moment.
Yes, it was. So, and just trying to get through this damn place alive.
Oh, wow.
That leads us on to Genie now, currently played by Optic, who will introduce himself in a second. Optic is waiting for his awesome new webcam, but it is not there yet, so he is voice only. So you guys will see a little bit of a green light, and you will hear the mysterious voice of Optic will be speaking to us. So, Thanksgiving food, sir. What did you have?
I guess my favorite was, and always is, like, I think it's sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top.
Oh, nice. Yep, I had that too.
That's a good
I
choice.
pretty much eat all of that, yeah.
It's good stuff. All right, man. So talk a lot about your Twitch identity / your character that you play.
All right, in game, I'm Degenie Verglass, a mage looking to venture into the arts of necromancy, but not on, I guess you would say, an evil edge, if that's possible.
Sure, you're just raising people from the dead against their will for good. I mean, I don't see what.
Weren't you one of the guys who wanted to let the bad guy go when we captured her?
That'd be me.
Yeah, but I thought he was falling in with you too, as I recall.
That was Foom.
Okay, that was Foom. I wasn't sure it was him or Foom.
Don't blame him for our sin.
Cheerfully withdrawn. Yes.
Cool. And on Twitch.
On Twitch, Optic Nerve Productions, and should be back to streaming regularly, hopefully, within the next
About
week
goddamn
or two.
time.
Oh, man.
Not that you have folks waiting.
Seriously, man. Where am I going to get my freaking 3DS streaming fix,
I
etc.?
know, I got my Sapphire, my...
And I just finished streaming Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Optic. So, I bought it on WiiWare, and then I ended up streaming it on an emulator because it was a pain in the ass to stream my Wii. But yeah, man, you got the DS power for that, So anyway, cool stuff. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that you will be back in business. We will pass over Foom for the moment until Foom actually logs on in the flesh. At the moment, he is represented by the meme generator, One Does Not Simply King of Foom, Fing Muficus, our drunken cleric. Moving right along, we are up to Samil Adams. Do you want to explain to us, series, who this is and what your favorite Thanksgiving food was this time around?
Sure. My character is a straightforward hit stuff. That's it. I just attack roll. That's all I do. I don't think. I don't smell. I just hit really hard.
But you gotta look good while doing it, of course.
Right.
Oh, don't. You don't got to worry about that. I look plenty fine. Favorite Thanksgiving was mashed potatoes. That's
Nice.
can't
With
go wrong
gravy?
mashed potatoes.
With gravy? Or?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Even though my wife doesn't like gravy, she made gravy for me.
What?
Aw.
Okay, well, that's good that she made gravy for you. That was nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Although strange that she does not like it, but well.
What can you do?
Yeah.
It's better than her liking it and not making it for you, which would be a bad combination. I love this.
even
You'll have
worse.
none. Yeah, it'd be worse. No, for sure. For sure. Cool beans. All right. And as series runner on Twitch, your shtick is at the moment?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm pretty much working full time on my score right now, but I can put. Do you want me to put my link in chat or something if people want to check it out? Okay.
Yes. And are you still focusing when you do stream on Smash, or are you doing other stuff?
It's so hard to know right now because I haven't even thought about it, to be honest.
Yeah, because understandable, because school has been occupying time.
It'll probably just be whatever would be just relaxing.
Yeah.
At that point in time.
Yep. That is understandable entirely. But yeah, definitely put the link in chat. Hey, Thor, what's up, man? All right, and then last of the players, but certainly not least, Soliel, your Inam, your player / awesome Thanksgiving food.
Yeah, I'm a Nominatus. I'm a full-time variety broadcaster here on Twitch. Particular emphasis on full series playthroughs. Unlike somebody who stole the name person. Anyway, right now I'm playing through the entire Assassin's Creed series. We're currently on 3, trying to get through it as fast as possible because pirating is approaching.
Arr.
Arr. I play Soliel Rain in this group. He is our human mage. Last session, he just got done barbecuing like an entire army worth of orc.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It was
And
impressive.
it was awesome.
As far as Thanksgiving goes, it's kind of a tie for me between sweet potato mash because that's delicious and has layers of marshmallow and it's like dessert before you get dessert. And then the actual dessert, good old homemade pumpkin pie.
Ah,
Ooh,
So good. I look forward to it every year.
that's good stuff. That is actually delicious. What you just described in chat, Saw. That sounds awesome. Cool beans. All right. Well, my name is Arvin Eleron. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. Play a lot of different games. Just finished Phoenix Wright. Just started yesterday Dragon Age Inquisition. And when that's finished, I'm going to be finishing up my Ultima Underworld run and then doing Talisman of Death, the fighting fantasy game book with my viewers. And then we will see. I have a interview with the Shadowgate dev, the guy who did the Shadowgate remake, coming up on December 18th. And hopefully next month we'll have an interview with the Pillars of Eternity folks from Obsidian as well. So I'm doing that, and I am a professional writer and a college professor in real life. And my favorite, I'm the DM of this charming little crew. And my favorite Thanksgiving, I have to say, this was tough because we had like a tremendous amount of good food this time around. But I did actually really, I also agree with the sweet potatoes with the marshmallow. That was also really good. Also my daughter's favorite because, of course. But I have to say that we had 2 different kinds of stuffing this time. One which was this rice stuffing inside the bird that my mother-in-law favored, and then the awesome bread, all-American, red-blooded, you have this stuffing and you immediately feel the eagle soaring above your head type of thing. That I had both of those, and those were both awesome. And the thing about that is that those are good the next day as well. Sometimes even better. Like, the leftovers just absorb the,
Yep.
So it was
Totally
good stuff.
agree.
It was badass. So this is the Infinity and Beyond crew, and our plan for this, so that everybody knows, these guys are right now about halfway through Chapter 3. When Chapter 3 of Ghosts of Dragonspear Castle is finished, they'll be moving on to Chapter 4, which is the last chapter. When that is done, we will be moving on to Icewind Dale. We will be playing the Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition together, and I'll be playing with that, with them on that. And then after that game is finished, we'll go back to the pen and paper, starting with Sod is going to run us through a once-off with me as one of the players about how Infinity and Beyond met, and then we're going to be moving into the first official 5th edition adventure, not the beta rules, but the new rules, called Horde of the Dragon Queen. I'm actually running a campaign of that once a month with some a live campaign, like in-person, face-to-face type of thing, and I think these guys are going to like it a lot. So if they don't all die, which was the immediate assumption, was that everyone would die, but assuming that they don't all die, then they will like it, and you guys will like it regardless of whether they die or not. So that's the deal. So that's where we're at. And I'm not going to run through a huge, because I always do that. I don't want to have to run through everything. Past broadcasts of this are available on my
Please don't.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that. But I am just going to say, for this particular level, this particular dungeon, these are the Iron Axe Halls, and as was previously made reference to by Sod, they had a whole bunch of I just saw the little note that Domdor put. There were a whole bunch of orcs down here, which Inam successfully wiped out, Soliel I should say, wiped out with his fireball. They then basically proceeded to clear out and root out most of the things on this level, with the exception of there was a crying ogre named Lump who was despondent over the loss of his rat, who they told about the loss of his rat, and then he went running off screaming somewhere into the hallways. There is a strange altar that's in this room right here that they don't really know what to do with, this room right here. There were some statues that they sort of checked out over here. There was a rather bored ogre guard who told them that, he didn't really want to have any trouble with them and let them go. And then there was a chest that Sod wanted to get a hold of, and so he ended up, before he actually opened the chest, he ended up trying to scratch out a bunch of these magical runes, and he successfully caused a cave-in of the entire area. So now the chest is buried under tons of rock, which is why you see this note, "Nice job, Domdor."
Yeah, man.
So that's where we are, and the second floor, we had just ended as they climbed to the second floor and noticed there were some beds with dwarves lying in them and snoring, and that's pretty much where these guys are at. So that's where we are.
Actually, there's one other room where the guards were talking to each other too. So there's actually the two.
Oh, that's
ones.
right.
I want to make sure we're clear on that too.
That is
yeah,
correct,
because
yes.
that's kind of important.
Yes, that is correct. So that's the deal. That's where we stand, and with that, we can recommence. So so yes, what do you guys? Well, yeah, as opposed to a normal altar, Shane, because the altars they've been playing with have been like coral. There was an altar of stained glass. So there's these strange. There's a whole like altar theme in this adventure. And
Stained glass. Where was I for that one?
that was broken before you guys started the adventure. That was the one
Right.
that was the noble house that got broken into at the very
Oh, I
beginning that
wasn't-
the guy
I
got
wasn't
hung
talking
for.
to you guys yet.
Yeah. So
fine.
yep. So that was the deal with that. So that's where we are, and now you guys know where you are, and it's now up to you. Time in, as it were.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember. The dwarves were armored, and there was some what looked like, I can't remember the types of dwarves there were.
Yes, so there were a couple. Yes, so basically the dwarves seemed to be armored. A couple of them that were talking with each other, although not in a sort of a. They were sort of in a relaxed posture. I mean, they were definitely dressed as if for guard duty, but it didn't seem like they were actually on guard duty at the moment when you saw them. They were just
Did we
sort of
talk to
chatting
them?
about other things. So what was that? Sorry.
We haven't decided yet if we're going to talk to them.
I'll go talk to him.
You want to go talk to them? All right.
Yeah, I wanted to go and cut the head off that big guard they were yakking about and roll it in there and say, "This guy? You're worried about this guy?" Because they were complaining about it. We can't do anything with him around. Blah 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 blah. Because they don't know he's dead yet.
I'll kind of
I'm gonna go
eavesdrop on
ahead
Siri's
and grab
That's
it.
conversation.
Inam's job. Well, it was Inam's idea, which I think is a great idea, by the way. So
Okay.
Interesting to see how they'd react if nothing else.
All right, so so you guys basically have, so what you've got over is down here you've got a couple guys chatting, and then up here you've got what sounds like a lot of snoring. So that's basically where things are at. So yes, so you're gonna go talk to the ones down. Sorry, the ones down here. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So are you just like marching right in, or what are you doing?
Yep.
Okay. So you march right in, and the dwarves are like, "Huh?" As you sort of walk in, and they're like, "Who the hell are you?" One of them says.
I don't know what we're doing. Hey, what's up? I mean, what
You just slink out of
lost
the
from
room.
the group.
All right, you know what?
You know.
How about this? I'm gonna tell them that we need someone who knows this place. So I'm gonna pay him. How much gold do I have? Let's see. I'll essentially I'm gonna pay one of them to show us, and like you know how we have the arcane runes downstairs and stuff or whatever that is. So I need one of them to like show us what this stuff means, and I'll pay him for it.
Okay, so how do you want to phrase it? Because I assume you don't just throw a bag of gold and say, "Tell me all." Like, what do you want to do, like specifically?
That
All
would
right.
surprise me.
I know that might work.
Tell me
This is
everything.
what we're gonna do. Frickin' Cade, you're way better with words than I am. So you come here.
I like how you walk in and then you're like, 1 second. Then you
Hold
turn around,
on.
Kate.
Let me get my robe.
What am I being roped into here?
No, you talk to. Okay, you're gonna talk to these dwarves. I can translate what you're saying because I'm guessing you don't know Dwarvish. I'll translate what you say to them.
You do speak Dwarvish, Samil?
I do.
Okay, awesome. So they said that to you in Dwarvish. So this is gonna be wonderful. I love it. Okay, so Kate, are you going in there then with him?
Oh, sure. With our mighty cleric here, we cannot go.
Gotcha.
Wait, that's Dejini, isn't that who did it? Wait, who's in here with me?
Hide behind my massive thighs.
Yes. Okay, that's what I thought.
I'm eavesdropping on Siri's conversation.
Okay, well move your figure where you want to be
Yeah,
in that
yep,
area
hold on,
because
hold
you
on,
guys
I'm
have all
zooming in.
control.
Sorry, let me get over there. All right. So, wow, how do I get roped into this stuff? I swear.
Just hide behind me.
Exactly, monkey. Hey guys, don't mind us.
So,
You're the yellow shield guy, right?
okay. So first of
What's up,
all,
Helmut?
Hey, Hilness.
the first thing I ask is, do you guys speak common in common?
Okay, so you translate that. Now, I do want you to tell me, Samil, as you're translating this, tell me if you're translating it completely accurately or if there's any change.
So
that you
far,
make.
yes.
Okay.
So far, completely correct. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Ask that again, Kate. I'm sorry. What was that? Say-
Do
say
you, any of them speak common?
And they say perhaps they say still in Dwarvish. Perhaps. Why? And who are you? And who's the other one who keeps looking at his muscles?
and flexing subtly.
don't know. It's pretty cold around here. I don't know why you don't have a top on anyway.
This is
So he says all that to you, Samil and Dwarvish.
So Samil's got like chainmail, but it's like cuts off here, and the rest of it's just pegs.
Right, exactly. And every time you look at him, it just looks like Flashdance. First when there's not. Like a dead 80s dance movie.
I got peck mail. That's the same armor class as chainmail.
Samil, you're fairly tall, anyways, aren't you? Because you're human, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty tall.
Okay, great. This is like.
I do love how that's your qualifier. Like, oh, you're pretty tall because you exist as a normal person. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, as a halfling, you're all tall except for Domdor. Anyways, so this tall drink of water is Samuel Adams, and I'm Cade Marmodas, and we're here to
Pump you up. No, sorry.
I kind of look at Samuel like, we're here to do what again? I didn't hear what he said to the dwarf in the first place. I was down in the hall.
I like how your charm is being communicated through the person who has no charm. He's like, let me translate the charming thing he just said. Just explain that. He said, blah, 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 I'm strong, blah, blah, blah.
The whole point of this is to get one of them to follow us to tell us what all these things are that we don't know.
Okay.
We're looking for a guide. We will pay you.
That's it, not a scout.
Just
a guide.
pick one of them up and shake them a little whenever we need information.
Right.
Okay, so
we will pay handsomely for it. This he will.
We will.
I will
Hey,
pay
handsomely for it. He's like, wait a minute. And then now he falls into sort of a rough common, so now you guys are able to...
There we go.
And he says, no, wait a minute. I don't understand here. What do you mean? Are you trying to bribe us? Are you trying to bribe us, 2 guards of the Iron Axe Dwarves?
No, we're trying to hire you.
Did something wrong, right?
Call it moonlighting.
Moonlighting?
Yeah, exactly.
Now look here.
Here's
What
the
exactly are you doing in this place in the first place? What happened to the first level? What happened to the orcs?
They're gone. We killed them.
What? What do you mean they're gone?
Well, okay, not all of them are gone, but the ones that were wrestling in the main room, those are dead. And the big guy, the big 2-headed thing, he's dead too. We killed him.
You killed Arkabargle.
Yep.
What? And he sort of looks around, and he kind of looks at the other guard, and they kind of look at each other. He's like, this doesn't seem likely. How is it possible that your group was able to get through? How many other are you? Just you 2?
Yes.
I'm
No.
Okay, I won't be making my way.
So,
Never mind.
so Leo walks up to the door. He's like, So
No, I don't. I am kidding. I'm kidding. He's like, yeah, us 2. No. Offered in the, Cade and the Gray, whatever, this over here. Now, it's a small group of us, but we're very efficient.
Just coming around the corner to tell them how I lit them on fire, but they're like, no, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
He
40.
walks in and goes, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. No, wait just a minute. There was at least 40 orcs down there. You couldn't possibly
Not
kill them all.
Not anymore. Well, there's 40 bodies down there, I think.
Wait a minute.
Maybe like 30.
And the other one sort of goes, hey, do you think? And he sort of whispers in his ear quickly, and then he says,
Can I hear what he's saying? Well, he's just dwarven, isn't
No,
he?
you can't hear it. He says,
Damn.
Were you responsible for that explosion we heard a few minutes back?
Yes.
That's not important right now.
No, us. No. We were pointing at him and I because we weren't. So.
Wait a minute. He's like, I don't. Let's be clear here. Are you trying to say that you've killed a bunch of orcs and now you're coming in here to talk to us and you want us to show you things here? Iron Axe halls?
Well,
A guide. Come on,
it's
man.
pretty much. Yeah. Do you like having to work with orcs and ogres and whatever those other things are? Is this what your clan has come to?
Hey! And he looks at you and his eyes get wide.
Hey!
And his face gets a little red
I'm
and he
just
says,
saying.
Do you think our clan didn't do everything it possibly could to avoid coming to this sorry pass? Do you, half-man, think you could understand what we've gone through? What the once proud Iron Axe clan has fallen to? Eh? And then his friend comes over and he pats him. He's like, it's all right. It's all right, Ferguson. You don't need it. You don't need it, Fergus. Listen. Just
I
come
remember
back,
like,
my
I didn't
friend.
mean any offense by it. It just seems.
He says, you should learn to keep your mouth silent, but you don't know what you're talking about. This has been a difficult time for all of us.
If an opportunity came along to better your position, that you would be interested in pursuing it. That's all.
Better our position. Ha! That's a laugh. And the other guy says, aye, if you really knew what you were talking about, you wouldn't have come anywhere close to this place. Our whole clan is cursed, friend. Not that you would understand. It would take a dwarf to really know.
Hey, Domdor, get in here.
Dude, this isn't like a career
got one of
proposition.
those.
This is like a 1 hour guide tour. All right, we don't need you for longer than an hour.
All right, Tamil, just hold on. Domdar,
What?
get over here.
What?
I'm outta here.
And let him come in there.
I'm just like
Grumblehammer, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your names.
Okay, so Domdor walks in. So he says, "This here is Hillis. My name's Fergus. We're two guards here, the Iron Axe clan. And who the hell are you?" And you notice that every time they actually ask a name, it's always "Who the hell are?" But who the hell are you?
I like that.
So he says, "Who the hell are you?" He says to Domdor.
I am Dundor Grumblehammer of the Grumblehammer clan in Mithril Hall.
Really?
Have you heard of us? Probably not. You've been down here for so long.
We've been a bit disconnected, friend. The question is whether you've ever heard of the Iron Axe clan.
Oh, I have heard many stories.
He says, he sort of looks around and he says, "Listen, if you happen to get through the ogres and the orcs down there, then you must know that this is not a place you want to spend time in. What did you come here for the first place for?"
Looking for a stone altar. Have you seen one? A very specific stone altar, I should say.
Did you say stone altar?
Yes.
And they sort of look at each other and they're like, "Well, I mean, there's Derwin's altar, but that's not stone, it's iron."
Okay, an iron altar. That'll do.
Well, there's more places to look around. It's possible the other altar may be somewhere else. Is there a stone altar anywhere in here,
Okay,
perchance?
so someone, presumably either Domdor or Samil translates that, unless Samil's left already.
Oh, I'm out of
Samil-
here. I'm out in the other room.
I think
now.
Dom should translate.
Yeah.
He should be the dwarven go-between.
I'll be the go-between. So yeah.
Okay,
Just
so
trying to remember.
He says, "Friend, all we've ever had is Derwin's altar. Not that it matters at this point. That altar can't possibly be used anymore." And the other one says, "Hush your mouth, Fergus. You don't know what you're talking about." Maybe I do, Hillis. And maybe the time's come to ask for people outside to give us a hand." "Ah, you're full of it, Fergus. If we start doing that, what do you think it's going to be like for people in here? You think you just want anyone to come in here? They already have come in here, you fool." And you can see, like, you get the impression that this is the conversation that's been had before. Like, this is not, the first time they've talked about this subject, whatever it happens to be.
It's good dwarf, grumpy dwarf.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. They seem to be just sort of focused on each other at the moment. Just sort of
I'll
chatting.
let this conversation play out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the best way to word this.
Wait,
And-
no, it's Fergus is the grumpy one. What's Hilness is the logical, more clear sounding one? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Fergus is the gruffer one. Hilness,
Right.
Although Fergus also, he doesn't seem to be like, he seems still pretty kind of red-faced. And actually, Domdor, you don't know why, but he seems pretty upset, and he kind of glares at Cade once in a while. You don't know what he's glaring about, but also I'm getting some feedback.
Oop. Be right back.
Trying to think.
Okay.
Better?
Yes. All right, listen. Hillis says, the question is, if we're going to take you around, we don't need your gold, but we might possibly need some help. And Fergus says, "Shut your mouth, Hilness. You don't know what you're talking about. We can't just let anyone walk in here. They've already been walking in here for far too long, Fergus, and you know that well."
We aren't just anyone. And I show him the blood of the orcs on my axe.
Ah, so you cut yourself shaving a few times. What's the big deal in that? I'm
Hey,
more
hey,
interested in what you can
that
actually...
Beard? You see that beard? Watch it.
And so he says, "All right, so how many other are you?" Fergus says.
Say 30.
Say 30. I'm not going to say that. I'd say party of
800.
7.
A party of 7.
Seven's all we need. We're that good.
Including our dungeon master.
Yeah, that's what I say. How are you counting that, buddy?
Six plus. Plus a goblin.
I'm adding 7 in case we need to use someone
Oh,
else.
yeah. In case you want to add a sacrifice. Well,
Yes,
we lost
exactly,
Bob. It was a
exactly.
tough time for Bob. And all right. Well, he says. So Fergus says, "I'm not in favor of this, Hilness. I'm telling you right now." And Hilness says, "I don't care what you're in favor of. Just shut your gob and let us show what they need to know. All right, listen. We don't need gold, but we need help. The question is whether you can provide it."
We're listening.
Yeah. Keep going.
Okay, all you actually heard of that, Cade, was hard a bit hit it hard a bit harder,
I'm
harder,
assuming
harder.
Donner's translating.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us your story. What's happened? Because we haven't heard anything from what the hell's happening up here.
All right, listen. It comes down to this, and as Hillness is talking to you, Fergus kind of walks off in the corner. You can see that he's kind of upset, shaking his head. He's clearly not in favor of whatever it is that Hillness is about to tell you. And Hillness says, all right, it's like this. You haven't just walked into a dwarven hall. The truth is you've walked into a den of sin. Dwarves, and he looks around, and orcs. You follow what I mean?
Yes.
I mean living together.
Yes.
You know, knowing each other in the biblical
Okay,
sense.
okay, wait.
I mean having sex, all right? They're having sex together with each other. That's what dwarves and orcs are doing. Having sex. All right? Is everyone clear? Have you got that mental picture? And Fergus is like, dear God, Hillness, will you shut up and move on with it? We don't need to go over the details. All right. So, what happened was, a long time ago, the Iron Axe dwarves ruled everything in this land. Everything in these mountains was ours. We controlled our own territory. We were strong dwarves then. And that's when the madness came. You see, King Corin, may his beard grow ever longer, King Corin led us in those times. But his brother left, and his brother left him and betrayed him. And King Corin, well, he was driven rather mad by the experience.
You speak of Derval, do you?
No, I'm not speaking of Derwin. Derwin was his brother. And that's part of the problem, you see. Because Derwin left. Derwin left, and we don't know where he went. He went and vanished somewhere. And Corin was left, and eventually he lost his mind. Well, without him, if you don't have a dwarf with a sane mind to lead you, things just fall apart from there. Our numbers dwindled, we got attacked by orcs and goblins, and eventually there was only one thing our king could think of to do. He decided we needed to, well, crossbreed. To increase our numbers.
Sacrilege.
You know what I mean. You understand?
That's sacrilege.
I'm referring to them sleeping together.
I'm pretty much disgusted.
Having
I'm
sex
saying.
is what I'm talking about, is having sex and having orc children with dwarf children. That's
I'm talking about bumping uglies.
I'm talking about.
And I mean,
The beast with two backs is what I'm talking about.
I really don't understand. Please give me can you draw a picture? Is that,
Do you have a
That's
book?
how I
Can you
think.
please draw a diagram for me?
This was a very sad time for all of us, as you can imagine. First of all, it was repulsive and terrible, and beyond that, well, the orcs really were in charge, even if the king pretended to be. Ultimately, we had half-orc dwarf children. I mean, we did what we could, you know? We tried to teach them in the way of dwarfdom, but, well, many of them were too wild and too, well, unpredictable, and the orcs took them as soon as they possibly could, and brought them off to be trained as orcs instead. That's what you got here, folks. A race of dwarves, orcs, all combined together, everyone feeding off each other. And that's when the cave-ins began. You see, because we didn't have enough real dwarves. You know what I'm talking about. And he looks at Domdor. You understand what I'm talking about. Real dwarven blood. You know what I mean? I'm talking about blood. Like blood that flows in your veins. You know, that like dwarf stuff, that it's only dwarf and dwarf together. That
Not
makes
this
the blood.
crappy blood of
That's
my
what I'm talking about, yes. That kind of blood is what you need to actually work on a place like this, to keep it going. And there started to be cave-ins. The rooms started to fall in. Well, that's when the wizards showed up. And when he says wizards, Fergus turns around and his eyes get kind of wide. And he says, shut up, Hillness. Do you understand what'll happen if they know? What happens if they discover what you just said? And Hillness says,
We already know the wizards. We already know the wizards, I say.
And Hillness says, you see, Fergus, they already know the wizards. And what's more, they know that you're a bearded fool who can't accomplish anything if he doesn't have his axe in front of him. Now shut your gob and let me finish. And Fergus is just like mutters, spits in the corner. And Hillness says, so Hillness looks at you all, and Hillness says, he kind of looks around. By the way, I should point out that this is not the Hillness in chat. This is actually another Hillness. But if you want to believe it's you, Hillness, that's fine. If you want to actually play the part.
My special guest.
Our special guest, Hillness. So Hillness says, aye, the Red Wizards of Thay is who I'm referring to. One of them showed up one day, a real evil type, a guy named Arvik Zaltos. Arvik Zaltos, a human with serpent tattoos all up and down his arms, you see. Arvik Zaltos, and the minute he says that, Arvik Zaltos, all of your memories are sort of triggered by anything. If you guys don't remember who I'm talking about, I can have you roll a wisdom check to see if you remember. Does anyone remember this
Honest,
name?
I don't.
I thought he was the one that got his head
That's what I was
chopped off.
thinking.
That
too.
is that is exactly the guy, yes. The person
Okay.
who was hung, he says, is the one who came to this place. So he says,
How long ago was this?
oh, couldn't have been all that long ago. I mean, well, probably only maybe a month or so is when he finally showed up. Now, a month is after Arvik Zaltos was allegedly hung.
Yeah.
So he says,
Plot thickens.
so Arvik Zaltos shows up, and he says, we know you've got a problem, and we know how to fix it. And he says they'll put together these magical wards, see? These things to shore up the weak areas in the mountain. But of course it'll cost you. Well, our king, King Corin, is all driven mad, and I'll tell you why, I think. If you ask me, he's been possessed, I tell you. And Fergus says, ah, you're a damn fool. He had too much ale and he was driven mad by his brother, nothing else. And Hilna says, shut your gob. Maybe you don't know the ghosts that wander around Corin's place, but I do. I could show you his guard, sure ain't a dwarf that I know. And Fergus kind of mutters to himself. And Hilnus goes on, so these magical wards were designed to keep the cave-ins from happening. And they work, too, unless someone happens to scratch them out. If someone ever scratched out the one down below, let's say, there'd be a huge cave-in. I don't know what would happen then.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
There's one valuable chest down there that has some of the most priceless treasures that our clan possesses. I shudder to think what would happen if anyone had ever marked out the runes that were on the surface of that floor. I can't even think about it. Fergus, can you? Nah, I can't think about it. I can't imagine anyone would be stupid enough to do that. Nah, I can't either. I don't know who it would be. So he sort of looks at you, and he kind of tilts his head because he thinks he sees something in your face, and he's like, ah. Anyway, the truth is that the only way that they said they would help us is if we agreed to help him. And we said we'd do that. And so far, and here's the scary thing, he hasn't really asked for anything. He just wanders around the place, you know, always like he's looking for something. Sometimes he asks us questions. He asks if we know where Derwin's hammer is. Ha! Derwin's hammer. Like anybody knows where that thing is. And Fergus says, if you ask me, that thing was taken away by Derwin years ago. Well, maybe, Fergus, and maybe not. All I know is it ain't here, at least not a place I've ever seen. But Arvik's convinced, though. He walks around everywhere looking for it. So that's where we are, friends. You got a bunch of evil wizards, some orcs and dwarves working together, laying in unimaginable sin, and you got us, trying to guard what's left of a fading clan. And he kind of shakes his head. I wouldn't mind, you know, so much for me, but it's all for my son, Seamus. Seamus, if you only knew what your dad was trying to do for you, son, I can, and he sort of, breaks down, feels, he sort of, and Fergus comes over, he says, Seamus will be fine. Well, I don't know, Seamus, he doesn't even want to swing an axe. He seems like really overcome.
Did I really bring a dwarf to tears by asking if you wanted to be a guide?
Yes. Yes. And I helped.
That is the beginning of this long and winding road, yes.
I
I
use
feel
dropped.
awful. I feel so bad.
Wait.
Should just pick one up.
Arvis, you seen this guy with the snake tattoos recently?
Why, yes, he wanders around all the time. I don't know, maybe I saw him a day or two ago. Whenever we see him, we stay out of his way. He's got a real evil look, Always like he's looking through you, not really at you.
What the schwanz?
I should say that Fergus says that, by the way.
Yeah, no,
Hilness was still like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's distracted him from accidentally insulting his honor. Haha.
Now, one of the things I want to say to Domdor quickly before you go on is that that there have been on occasion examples of, cross relationships. Clearly, there have been dwarven elven children, dwarven orc, but not on a mass scale. Like, from the way he's describing it, this is like a breeding system, basically, where the dwarves basically are the subjugated party. So this is, as you can imagine, this is an affront to the honor of dwarves in general, as you can imagine.
It's like the
They-
Dwarven Matrix.
You said that that orcs were in charge. Who is the current leader of the orcs?
Well, that depends on who you ask. If you ask the person you claim you killed down below, sorry, I should say this is Fergus. If you ask the person you claim you killed down below, Arglebargle, he would have said he was the leader. Then there's a bunch of other orcs who think they're leader, but I'll tell you the truth. Perhaps you could say that one of the orcs, perhaps Arglebargle, or one of the orcs around here, one of a handful of them that wanders around in these halls would be. But if you ask me, the real leader here is Arvik Zaltos. Aye, or his apprentice, maybe. Oh, and he sort of shudders. He's like, don't talk about his apprentice in my sight. He's a creepy one, too. So apparently,
Apprentice. Tell me more about this apprentice.
Indeed.
his name is Ulan Zev. He's a scary one, that one. Spends most of his time working in his laboratories and sometimes working on, he looks around, bodies. You know, dead people. And Hilna says, aye, he sort of his recovery, kind of wipes away tears. Aye, hey, dead people. You know what I mean? Dead people. He looks at all of you.
Yeah, people who are dead, right?
Yeah, I mean people. I'm talking about skeletons. Like, he looks at skeletons, and he looks at their bones and, like, their parts. After they're gone, you understand. They're not breathing. And Fergus is like, you fool, of course they understand that. Shut your gob, Fergus.
Especially Optic, Mr. Necromancer, right?
Hillis, were you like a school teacher at one time? Is that what you did here or something?
Who is this?
No, I forget it. I'm not going to say that, actually. They're both guards. Obviously, they're dwarven guards. So
Yes.
okay. Hey, can you take us to this guy's lab?
Yeah. So I was going to say, like, Healness, what exactly do you want us to do? Do you want us to try and end this curse?
I want this curse ended. And the only way you can do it is to get rid of the orcs, and, most importantly, get rid of Arvik. And Fergus says, get rid of Arvik? First of all, you fool, no one wants to mess with a red wizard of Thay, and even if you could,
We do.
what happens to the wards?
We do. We want to mess with the red wizard of Thay.
And
It's
Hilness sort of hears you say that, and he nods. He says, aye, that is a problem, though. Fergus may have more brains in his axe handle than in his head, but there is something to be said for the fact that we can't just let the place crash. You gotta somehow figure out a way to get rid of the red wizards, but also keep our place from falling down around our ears.
So,
Yes, Domdor, we do need to keep that in mind.
I was like,
are
pretty
they
much.
I was sitting here for a second. I'm like, are they trying to give us a side quest? Is that what just happened? Well, it's all kind of tied together, especially now that the guy we thought was hanged a month ago is alive.
Which is
Find him, hog time, get him out. The whole place can crumble. I mean, me personally, I don't really give a rat's fart about the dwarven place. Although to stop this whole unholy thingy they're doing, that would be a good thing too. I think, just on general principles.
I think the entire building falling down on top of everyone would put a pretty good end to that. But
We could kill him, bring him back to life, and control the future of this entire area.
Okay, guys, don't forget there were a lot of orcs that the elves lured off and are probably going to be coming back fairly soon. So we do not need to kind of keep moving on the main quest here, because we can't take all of them on. It's not feasible.
at least not without me taking a nap.
True.
I just wanted a guide. That's it.
So, Dom,
All right, listen.
We
He
just
says-
for just a second, Dom. Step out into the corridor with me, will you? For a second, come here.
Oh,
okay,
just one sec.
As you walk out of the room, you hear Hilness explaining to Fergus, asking him if he knows what he means when he says a dwarven beard, and then he begins to describe the hair in the beard. Something about
He was a
that.
school teacher. So, do we want to maybe get this apprentice and see if he knows anything or what's going on? See if we can use him to get information, because I have a feeling when we encounter Arvik, whatever his name is, it's going to be a fight to the death, and it's not going to be able to interrogate him. But the necromancer might be a source of information, or do we want to go for the main guy? I'm open to either.
I'm down for either as well. If we can actually get our hands on Zoltos right now, that'd be great. But-
That would be huge, considering he's supposed to be like a corpse. So
Exactly. Well, I'd make him a corpse. I want him dead.
again, apparently, but that's my point. The point is this guy's not walking around when we thought he was hung in the town square. That's a little weird, a lot weird. So, I'm open to other points of view, by the way. Except we're not letting him go. That's for sure.
No. May send him to Delphin. Delphin may be able to.
I don't think we're bringing him
Powerful
out.
wizard needs another powerful wizard to.
His
control
corpse,
it.
maybe. Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm not gonna capture him and try to bring him back with us. No, thank you.
Chat, by the way,
I
is
don't
a fan of this
probably capturing.
nuke the dungeon for Morbid. It's the only way to be sure idea. Which I thought you
I've
guys
been
had already
saying this
tried
for a
in
while,
miniature.
guys.
I think you guys already tried that in miniature twice.
All right, so we basically carve those symbols that are for the cave in around the mountain, and then we break.
Did you say every
be
single
so
symbol?
amazing.
Well, maybe I didn't say it exactly every single syllable, but I basically drew the glyphs. Yeah.
And we got, what was it? There were two sleeping dwarves up here, right?
As far as you know, yes. I believe there's actually, yes, there are two there, yeah.
Okay, so that's
Now,
four
presumably there's
dwarves.
other elsewhere. I mean, there were other rooms and so on that you
Well,
guys
yeah.
have not
We
explored.
haven't explored the whole area, but I'm just
Right.
saying, bolster our forces, etc., etc., etc.
It sounds like Hill needs to be down. I'm not sure about the other one, Grumpy.
Fergus.
Fergus, thank you. Yeah, I might just start calling him Grumpy though. I don't know.
I think we might have.
Dopey, sneezy.
Hey, don't tempt me. So, I mean, and look, I think, Dom, here's the thing. I think the way to get to them is, like, give them the old dwarves restoring your honor speech and get them on our side. You know.
Yeah, I think this mountain it's unreclaimable. Like, what's happened here is just...
Yeah, but at least the dwarves can, like, reclaim their honor for crying out loud. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you, and I'm not even a dwarf, but this place looks like it's about to fall down any second, to be quite honest.
So should I
really
try
depends
to
on whether
lead
or
them?
not. I guess that depends on the way you're looking at it, because they can certainly reclaim their honor by just, suiciding into the ruins and letting it all crumble on top of them.
See, Salil's got it.
Like if you did the mess, now fix it with your life, essentially.
Well,
It's not entirely clear to you that Harikiri is a functional portion of the dwarven culture, just so you know.
no. Okay, first of all, that's
we can always. It had to start somewhere.
We're talking dying gloriously in battle. It's a whole different concept. Seriously. Dom, make the case.
Whenever you would go against your clan and family, there typically is.
No, this is reclaiming the clan from
Exactly.
From
It is
the
restoring their
curse.
honor from the sin and depravity to which it has fallen into.
yeah.
But which was by their own hands, though. That's my point.
Details. Well, not these guys. Not their hand specifically. It was their king. And that kind of king needs to go as far as I'm concerned.
So wait, we're talking about the dwarves that are kept alive amongst these orcs and are kept in their own little separate areas for purposes. We don't. These ones aren't involved at all in the production of
production.
So there's a couple things, by the way, I want to mention as well that are sort of just as a sort of jog to your memory also about what you had heard. The story that was told by Hilness is not exactly the story that you remember hearing from from the elven ally that you had outside of this place, and it is not necessarily what you understood from Derwin. You may remember that it was actually Derwin who you guys encountered, who actually died in front of you because from old age. But the understanding was Derwin, who had gone off, had told you, it had basically told this story before, and as your elven ally related it to you, Corin is the actual brother who marched back to reclaim Mount Illifarn and then was not heard from after that, other than that. So if this is the same Corin, that's not exactly the way that Hilness told the story. I mean, but it's not, you don't get the impression that he's lying to you, but definitely the story that he's telling is it sort of shades the king's role in this differently, put it that way.
Well,
I was a bit confused. I thought Derwin was the king and Corin took over his like.
No,
leadership.
the king was actually Derval, and his younger brother was named Derwin. So Derval was the.
That's why I got
was the king.
Derwin confused.
Right, but allegedly Derwin and Corin. So Derval was Derwin was the guy who left, the youngest brother. But Corin was also a brother of Derval. So you had Derval, you had his brother Corvin, and then you had Derwin, who was the younger brother. Derwin is the one that you saw who died in front of you, and Derval, of course, has been gone for a while now, and so that leaves you with Corin. And so yes.
Yeah, but I think I take the word of the boots on the ground guys versus these guys who are outside of the.
Yep, it's been a long time since anyone had heard anything from them.
Yeah, exactly. So, and of course, Derville would try to shade it more. Shall we say less scandalously? So, yeah, I think we're getting the real story from these guys right here in front of us. They're here. They've seen it. They are living with it every day. So, but that's just me. Either way, scandalous.
Scandal.
Yes. So, but it doesn't change what's going on here and what really has to stop. In my opinion,
this inbreeding has to immediately stop.
Crossbreeding, not inbreeding. That's that of a different kind.
That's fine. Yeah, I know, crossbreeding. Sorry, my mistake. So we need a way to.
I love the insurance fraud scam that the chat has come up with in the last 2 minutes. That is hilarious.
I don't actually remember the command, but there is a way to get to the character sheet. Sod, what's the command in? Do you remember what the command is in
I think
chat?
it's just characters. I thought.
Is it?
There we go.
Oh, there it is. Group. That's what it is. No, not group. The characters.
Character.
Okay, yeah. Got it. Okay, yeah, those character sheets will give you the information about that. Apples. Okay. So, all right. So, what do you guys want to do?
So Dom, you're going to make the pitch, right?
I will try to make the pitch.
All right.
I cannot guarantee this will work. But we can try.
That's fine. That's fine. But come on, dwarf to dwarf. You know,
Okay,
come
so
on.
Hillness seems to have recovered himself more or less.
Yeah.
Fergus and Hillness look at you expectantly.
All right. So Hillness, this is what I propose. I propose that we stop this immediately. We end this curse.
Yes,
And
I'm
we
with you. He
release
turns
the
around, claps Fergus in the back. See, I told you this is the way to go. All right, shut your mouth. They haven't told you what they are actually going to do yet.
However, we need someone to lead the new dwarves. The new what was the name of the dwarf clan? Like
The Iron Axe clan.
The Iron Axe.
Damn it,
Need a
even I
new-
remember that, Tom Door.
Yeah, I'm having a
Nice
slow day
inspirational
today.
speech. You forgot their names.
You must do this in favor of the dwarven clan of dwarves that you have here.
It's like, well, we're not there anymore.
With mountain dwarf people. He says, what do you mean you need someone to lead? What's that mean?
Someone has to.
Can't we just let them die by all that is holy?
Jeez.
So you
Someone needs to rally.
No, just that one.
behind the original clan's
rally them.
intentions.
Banner.
I mean, the only way that you could actually rally them would be, well, I mean, there's only one of two ways. And Fergus says, you're a fool. Neither one of those ways is going to work. Shut your gob. They're going to work a lot better than you standing here jawing at me. And Hillness looks around and he says, look, there's only two ways you could actually get most of the dwarves on your side. Most of them have given up hope. But there's a chance if you could get one of two things to happen. Either you need to get King Corrin to support you. Fat chance of that. He's been mad for the last 50 years. I know that, you fool, but maybe they can do something different that we can't. It's better than you shouting at him all day. Or, your other option, and Fergus says, now we're ready for it. You've only got one chance. You've got to restore Derwin's hammer. And he sort of drops his voice, and Fergus, who still is kind of shaking his head, even he sort of just closes his mouth and kind of shakes his head. If you could bring the hammer back, and strike it on the altar of Moradin down below, then they might rally to you. The problem is no one knows where the hammer is, and it's probably gone, so I guess you're just going to have to convince our 50 years Mad King.
Crap. Did not look around the forge well enough. Arr.
Yeah. I think we have to convince the Mad King.
So you guys said, wait, was it Hillness who said he thought he was possessed? Is that correct?
Yeah, do you ask them that, or how do you...
Yeah, Dom, translate for me.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that whole possession thing.
It's very simple. He's possessed by an evil necromancer named Kelthus. No question about it. Yeah, you're a fool. He is not. No one thinks he is except you. That's not true.
Wait.
Just
So
the
Leo,
other
would you-
day,
would
Haggis
you
said the
step in
same
here,
thing to
please?
me. Yes, sorry.
We have a mage, a very talented mage among our group. Actually, we have two of them. If Djini wants to join us as well, perhaps their expertise might be of assistance in this matter.
Hi guys. Totally wasn't trying to crawl around the corner earlier.
How many of them are you back there?
We said 7. Remember?
It's everything.
All right, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, actually 4. Where's the others?
Our rear guard guarding our rear.
All right. Well, as they guard your rear, all right. Well, what do you want? What do you know about this stuff? Can you
Tell
fix
us
our
everything
problem?
you know about the king's possession. When it happened, how it happened, whatever you...
It happened 50 years ago, and as I hear tell, the king was wandering by himself one day next to a river. No, you fool! That was when the werewolf took him. That ain't true either. I heard it was a vampire. You heard nothing neither. I'm telling you that... And you can tell that they're sort of babbling back and forth. You doubt very much that there's a lot of sort of... you don't know that you're going to get a lot of details about it, but what you essentially hear is that the assumption is that there is this evil necromancer who has driven Corrin insane while also keeping him alive. And Hilda says, and I'll tell you one thing for sure, the one who guards his throne room, that sure ain't alive. And the other, Fergus, sort of says, well, that's as may be. Doesn't mean that he's actually possessed by a necromancer, though. Who would engage in necromancy, anyway? Drawn creatures from the dead. Who would actually engage in such evil behavior? I can't imagine anyone wanting to do something of the sort. You guys hear an evil cackle from the hall?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I mean an actually good, innocent cackle from the hall.
Yeah, it's like a dark but good kind of cackle.
It's a dark cackle, but for some reason kind of friendly.
A dark yet somehow friendly and shaded with a slight discomforting quality cackle.
But you can take us. Wait. Oh, so what is guarding the throne room? Excuse me.
Well, I don't rightly know. I know. I saw someone once talk to him. Cold he was, with cold eyes that stared right through you. He just hissed at us to get away. I'd bet my soul that that creature is from the land beyond. Could be a zombie, could be a white, could be a vampire. How would you know? You've never seen any of them. Well, it's one of them, you damned fool. It sure ain't a dwarf.
How tall is it?
Very tall he is. Probably, I'd
Taller
say
than Samil, and I just point to Samil.
he's probably at least as tall as someone
6'5".
twice your height, and he points at Domdor, which to him is obviously very impressive, right? Like, just like, and Fergus is like, he's probably that tall. Like, they're very convinced that that's a very big deal that they're both that tall.
Great. 2 dwarves standing on each other's shoulders. Yeah, that's all right. Fantastic.
Yeah. He's also thin as bones, but he looks at you with that look like he's staring into your own grave. I wouldn't touch him. Well, how else are they going to talk to the king then? Maybe we can get them to batter open the door with your fool head, Hillness. Shut your gob.
Good plan.
I second that.
I'd also like to point out that while you've been having this discussion, there have been a couple of other dwarves who are snoring in this room who have not stirred at all. Like, they are clearly out. So, there's not like they were expecting an attack or...
Well, they're dwarves.
Or they really, they know how to sleep when the time has come. But they are sawing wood like no one's business.
Drank themselves into unconsciousness.
Yeah, or something.
Okay, so if let's say, hypothetically, if we were to rally the dwarves to our cause, how many of you all are there in the area, in the place?
It's impossible to tell. They don't let us gather together anymore, you see. I mean, a couple of hundred, I'd suppose. Maybe.
What do you mean,
maybe.
gather
Maybe there's
together?
50.
Is this another one of your gather? No?
Gather together. You know what I mean. Like in a group. I'm talking about like in a room when they get all together in one place. We all talk
Everyone's
to each other.
clothed, right?
And we're all in the
Everyone's
same spot, in the same area.
Everyone has clothes on?
Yes, everyone has clothes on.
right.
Are you
That's all I need to
suggesting
know.
there's something else going on here? I don't much
just
like the
wanna
sound of
know.
your innuendo.
That's it.
Look
I'm
at this
done.
man. What is he trying to say? I come up with something innocent? I don't know, Hillis. Must be something about humans, constantly obsessed with sex. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
I was going to say, how many are in the mines of Moria? I mean, your lair. So, anyways.
There you
So
go.
a couple hundred, but you'd have no way to really know or gather them together somehow, except if, like you said, if we rang the anvil.
Or
I would
you could
say
convince the
any
king.
group that ended up humping orcs has no right to give
Yeah,
anyone.
I was gonna say they're humping orcs and we're getting the bad sex rap.
It's like a bad outtake of Oz.
Indeed. Yes, what the hey.
Monkey is excited about the dwarf army.
Hey, I'm excited about the dwarf
I'm
army.
excited about it too.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, you guys are here, and you're supposed to be guarding this level, right?
That's right. Although we're actually not on our shift at the moment.
Well, obviously. And there's like an upper level, and the throne room is near here? I
Yes,
mean, like,
yes, the
where
throne
does
room's
the rest
not-
of this place go? Can
Yeah,
you, like,
well-
give us some intel?
So yes, so he says, so they say, yes, I can, and he sort of talks with Fergus and Hilna sort of yelling at each other at various times. They manage to give you a basic sense of where things are, and they tell you that the throne room is actually on this level. And then he says, if you want to go even higher, there is a third level, and they say, but on the third level is some places where. He said some people don't necessarily go. You get the impression when they talk about the other level, the upper level, they sort of go all quiet. They sort of shake their heads. They don't want to talk much about it. They mention a couple things about it's not a place for the living to go. So you hear a lot of this stuff about it's not really where the living go, that upper level. You get the impression that this level and the one below it are sort of where the main levels are, and the dwarves are mostly on this level with some orcs scattered in here and there. And this is also where the throne room is as well.
Okay, where's that necromancer's... Where's the apprentice? Where's the sorcerer's apprentice?
I don't know why you'd want to go anywhere close to him, but he's also on this level. We can show you where.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Who huddle? Well, we need to figure out what we're tackling first. Are we going to try to audience with a king, which probably is not the greatest idea in my humble opinion, but if the group agrees we should do that, I'll go along with it.
Nah, forget the king.
Okay. Then we have. I really want to find that red wizard, but I think taking out his apprentice first is probably the best bet, theoretically.
I'm down for that.
What say everyone else?
Yeah, I think going
Good
after, like, going right to the king without taking out anything that he might be able to use against us first would be somewhat of a suicide mission. Because then all that does is like, oh look, we're at the king, and then everything just comes
Right,
in.
and he's like, "Oh, my buddy, the red wizard, want to talk to you." Blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, I'd rather be approaching him from a position of strength, not a position of variables.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, then it's fresh match of untouched. Oh God. Well, then Hilness, take us to the apprentice. Unless someone else has a different idea.
No? Yes? No?
Oh, and by the way, do you want to wake your brethren to start, like, getting them up and ready for the eventually upcoming fight?
If you wake the brethren at this point, they'll think that you're mad and they're going to send you in a room until you've sobered up a little bit from too much ale. At this point, they're not going to believe anything of what we've just told you. Your only chance is to ring that hammer down on that anvil or talk to the king. I don't know why you're wasting your time with this apprentice anyway. They seem much more fixated on the hammer, on the altar / the king options.
Yeah, no. And believe me, that's definitely still in play. But and I don't mean any offense here, but as the group that has been clearing out the area, do us a favor and let us tackle this the way we want to tackle it. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Off to the apprentice then.
I'm wondering, what does the hammer look like? Is it like a giant hammer? Like, could they describe the hammer?
Yes. And actually Fergus this time sort of steps off with his eyes shining. He says, I remember seeing it once when I was just a wee dwarven lad. Huge it was, shining, all of gold and silver, with lightning bolts on the pommel, lightning bolts carved into the hammer. When it was struck, 'tis said the entire mountain broke open before it. Aye, that was a hammer, my friends. That was a hammer. I remember once I went up to it. I wanted to touch this. I wanted to touch that hammer, and the king snatched it away from me and said, "No, can't touch this." And then he said it again, "Can't touch this." And then he started moving with the hammer left and right in the room.
He had these strange pants on that just seemed to inflate by themselves.
And then he said, "Can't touch this." And then Hilness is like, "Aye." And then he said, "Oh." At the same time.
I'm so disappointed in myself for listening to that like it was an accident.
I was watching it. I'm like, all of a sudden, I was like,
like you just thought.
And then the dwarven female dancers came out, and it was all a party.
I'm sorry.
That was
good times.
that was awful, absolutely awful.
Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you that. Oh my God.
I appreciate the compliment. So they say, he says, but it was shining like the sun. Can you keep describing this hammer? No, so they tell you that it's a gold silver hammer. You get the impression that it was very heavy, that it was the kind of thing that was, a badass dwarf was clearly the one who'd be wielding
All
it.
right, because I was thinking it maybe like the pendant that I had, like it had some kind of relation to it.
Not per se, no. I mean, you don't necessarily know if it does or not, but at least not directly. So.
I just have that song dancing around my head for probably the rest of forever now. Thanks.
Can't touch this.
Okay. And Monkey Commando, how dare you suggest we separate the party? What is wrong with you?
I'm all right with that.
Let's do it. Let's find out who's better.
Ready to go? Let's find out who's better.
Okay. Let's put the party. I'll be heading back to the entrance and leaving.
Yeah, exactly. We'll split into 3 parts: the survivor, and then the other 2.
Right.
I'm gonna go back to jumping on the trapdoor.
Right, exactly. It's good times. Oh man. Okay, so you want them to lead you where in particular?
I had one more question. When is the last time you guys saw that hammer?
Oh goodness, it's probably been, I don't know, years, right? And Hilna says, "Aye, years, I would say. But you know, I remember a couple of times having see Corin once in a while. I mean, he barely leaves his room anymore, but every so once in a while I remember seeing him walk the halls, and every so often I still hear him muttering about that hammer. I imagine he's just remembering one of his delusions from the past."
Well, did you ever actually hear exactly what he was saying?
No, you're not allowed to get that close to him. Also, I'm getting feedback. Mighty powerful feedback.
It's your hammer joke coming back to haunt you.
In before the hammer is under Hilna's bed. Exactly, monkey. Oh, man. And on the front of the hammer is a Kappa face, clearly. I think I'm still getting it. Feedback? No? No, wait, hold on. Maybe not.
Good?
Check 1, 2, 2. No, I'm good.
Describe the type
So,
of
yes.
feedback you're talking about, because I'm getting a little like stuff in the background, that little boop, boop, boop stuff, but not like.
It's not
audio.
terrible. No, it's not terrible. I'm probably just sort of cutting it off as well. Okay, so what are you guys going to do?
Okay, we're agreed apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm down.
All right?
Yep.
So he says, all right.
And
We'll do the
Ginny,
best
we're
you
not
can.
taking him out so you can set up shop here either. So get that in your head.
Okay, so he leads you basically up and around, and what he does is he brings you out, and Fergus actually follows behind you, although he continues to shake his head and mutter to himself. And one of the things that you notice is that up on this level, although there are supposed to be guards that are allegedly guarding it, you don't really see a lot of them. I mean, at least you don't see them sort of actively out there. And the general sort of sense that you get is that this is a place, you see like some finely crafted stonework, finely crafted woodwork. You see some beautiful things in the different halls, but you don't see a lot of kind of active, protection of it or active guarding of things. It just, it just sort of sits there, and you're not entirely sure as to why that's the case. But it definitely strikes, especially you, Domdor, as being odd, because you would think that this is the kind of thing. Normally, dwarves, they've got their crap together, like they know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and it seems like that's not going. So, all right, so they lead you around, and I will reveal some of what they show you. Just give me a minute.
Give us the nickel tour.
Yes, so they lead you more or less in a fairly direct route. They lead you this way.
Does it look quiet? Like, is it very quiet? Like, it's no one around?
Yes, other than
No other guards?
other than snoring, you definitely get the impression that you got these guys at a time when most people are asleep. You don't get the impression that many people go to try to invade Iron Axe, that are the Illifarn, Mount Illifarn. At least not since a Corin allegedly tried to do it himself. And so that's the impression that you've gotten, is that this is an unusual affair. And by affair, I don't mean affair, I mean situation. Okay. I think I did that wrong. Sorry. There we go.
Hammer of Karis. Why don't I recognize that? That sounds familiar.
Eric Karras, former Los Angeles Dodger.
Mm-mm-mm.
No, not that Karras.
Okay.
Okay, so he brings you up basically around, and the reason I'm leaving these things sort of unrevealed is that he doesn't stop for any of those. He just brings you, like more or less direct. And then right here, just south of this area, he stops. And let's see, the hallway extends up here. And he says, hold on a second. So if you guys could move your figures, everyone could move their figures to right around this spot right here. Right in that area, that would be good. So people could find their things and move them off there. Hello, by the way, to folks who came in the meantime. Hello to Indie Mustache and some other new ones as well. If you like what you see in here, please make sure to hit the follow button, not just for me, but for all the members of the Infinity and Beyond crew who are streaming today. And hope you guys are enjoying as the plot thickens of the Iron Axe halls. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think all we're missing now is Foom.
Hi, phone. Just bring him along.
Has anyone checked Skype recently or anything?
I mean, he's in
Hand of
chat,
God,
so I
what's
don't
in-
understand why he's not in. I don't get it. He's
Oh,
in
is he
chat.
lurking?
Yeah,
He said, if I can make it up, and
If
it
I
won't be
can
for a
make it.
couple hours. Sorry, got to crunch and grab stuff. He's got something he has to do, really important, it said.
Okay. Thank you for the follow, Indy Mustache. I appreciate it. I like the name, by the way, Indy. Yeah. Welcome to the Arvanauts. I'm glad that you're not one of those AAA mustaches, but an indie one. That's good.
He's not one of those pro mustaches.
Yeah, no. You want the kind of organic rawness of the indie mustache. Okay. So, right. So you guys are now at the entrance, and he stops and he looks back. He says, "All right, this is as far as we can go. Now, Fergus and I are going to go back onto our guard routes. We're going to pretend that we never saw you. Now, we'll be waiting, though. When we hear that hammer fall, or, well, when we hear that you died, we'll know that the situation's resolved, one way or the other. Best of luck to you." And he hits Domdor in the back. He wanders off, and he says, "All right, Fergus, let's go." And Fergus says, "Aye, it's almost time for our shift anyway. This nonsense wasn't going to go anywhere." "Ah, shut your gob. You don't even understand what I'm talking about." "Well, I've always..." And their voices kind of die off in the hallway.
Nice fade out.
And you guys are left behind here, and so what he pointed to is that somewhere in here or down that way is where you would find the apprentice.
Okay.
Let's go.
What about one of them being a guide? Oh.
Hey, he guided us here.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's
I mean,
yeah.
you never said good guide. You just said a guide. So that's what you get.
No more of the map has been uncovered, but okay.
A lot of
Well, it's also possible you could find him again, maybe if you needed to, but you would see where that could happen. Okay, so
I swear it's like Sleeping Beauty only with dwarves instead of like a woman. Ring the hammer, the dwarves shall awaken. Like what the really?
We are a
But
living
better than the
fairy tale.
alternative.
okay, hold on a second.
Okay. So we heading to the left or straight?
He pointed left.
Yeah, down here is where he claimed the.
Okay. Well, then that makes it easy. All right.
the apprentice could be found.
onward.
So how do you guys want to do this?
Wait. Left. Go left to the left, not straight.
Is there like a turn or a corner here? Can we just pop?
You could look down there if you wish.
Yes,
there is actually a corner down there. Yes, as I will show you.
Does it go up? Does it go up?
No, it
Like
does not go up.
north? Okay.
It goes
That's no help.
actually down,
Okay.
like so. So what you guys are left with is this area that's sort of down here. And by the way, since you were able to go up that far, Samil, you actually can now see more Carter. I'm going off that way.
Go, 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 go.
So there's that. Okay, so now how are you guys doing this?
Samil is completely ignoring our plan and going off the north.
Hey, what if the apprentice like side blinds us? You know, we got to make sure that we protect our rear, right?
Okay, that's still not our rear. Our rear's behind us. So I'm not sure where you're going with that plan.
That's our rear.
Dom, are we going into the apprentice's lair or what?
I'll let him walk up there, and I'll walk down here.
And I think... Okay, wait, we really need one of the mages to be, like,
All right, this way's boring.
secondary. Because, you know, the other guy's probably a mage, so...
By the
Who
way,
wants to
you can
volunteer?
just make
The
out
best we'll have
Samil.
is Fing, who has silence.
Samil, you can just make out from where you are.
I think he has silence.
What looks like a set of archways that were right to the north in front of you. It looked like the hallway ended, and in a room that had some archways in it, but you couldn't see any more than that.
Actually, that's a great idea. Fireball... Well, fireball would work, too. No, wait, you don't have fireball anymore. So you had to take a nap. Hang
Yeah.
on.
I've got Ray of Frost and Haste. That's about it.
I'm peeking in the room.
Okay. What you see is in this room, you come to a dark stretch of corridor with 5 open archways that are evenly stretched along the north wall. And let me show you some more of that. Okay. Each beyond these arches lie dusty dwarven tombs. And you notice that each of these crypts contains a single granite sarcophagus nearly 10 feet long, its sides adorned with painted frescoes. Of the 5 sarcophagi, only the middle one appears to be open with its lid off kilter, and the others are all closed up tight. So that's what you see up there. And then meanwhile, are you guys standing in the entrance there?
Yep.
Okay. So what you guys see is this.
At first, I thought those were like 5 stalls because it looked like toilets inside each of the rooms.
Yes, you've discovered the dwarven restroom.
And
And
only
huge,
one
though.
isn't
Massive
working order.
toilets. Yeah, yeah. Clogged, yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So this is what you see as you come into the room.
Well, wasn't going to go that
This
crazy,
large
but-
torchlit chamber has been swept clean. There are 9 hollow, freestanding suits of antique dwarven plate mail which stand against the walls, but otherwise the room is bereft of furnishings.
Hey, Dom, you could armor up here.
Okay.
It's antique. It's not proper
Okay.
wearable armor.
When do the
Gotcha.
dwarves make anything that's not usable?
I know, but
In the middle of the room, there are 3 half-orc children which have gathered around a pale, thin man with a shaved head, red eyes, and red robes. The man is kneeling over a large, half-finished circle inscribed on the floor, a chisel in one hand. And as he's sort of doing that, kind of carving out these symbols. And then as he sees you guys step in, he hears the children. The children are kind of like they're looking at him, and then one of the children sort of quietly says something almost below his breath, and he looks and then stands and looks at you, and he gives you a crooked smile. He says, "Oh, hello."
Zol and Zev, is that you? Are you Zol and Zev?
I am Olin Zev, yes.
I'm like slowly walking to him and just saying, we're from the Red Wizards.
I'd
organization."
ask you, and so he puts up his hand. He's like, I'd ask you perhaps to stop, my friend. And he's still got that same smile, but he sort of is standing and facing you now, and you can see that he's got his one hand is up like this, and his other
I'm like
hand has got the
readying to
chisel.
charge, like without trying to show it off. Like I'm just in like a ready to immediately attack him's state because I don't trust this guy one bit.
Okay, so he doesn't actually do anything yet. He doesn't do anything yet. He's just he's just standing there, and he sort of looks at you. So do you stop? Do you like stop as he says just stop? He does that. He doesn't like fire at you, but does he stop?
Well, I'm gonna slowly move, like just a little bit, inch by inch. You know what I mean? Like while he's talking.
Okay. He says, all right, what can I do for you, friend? What do you seem to be, you're not one of the Iron Axe clan, are you? I think I would recognize you if you were.
No, we're not. We're looking for Arvik.
And as you see him, his eyes kind of narrow a little bit. He's like, what do you want with Arvik?
What business is that of yours? We just
I
need to-
think I should ask you the same question. After all, I belong here. You, on the other hand, do not.
You're not. You're an apprentice of Arvik. You're not the leader. You're not like.
And he says,
You're
you
a
know
random
quite a bit
dwarf."
about me, friend, for someone who's new to this area. How exactly have you found out all this information? I don't suppose you've had encounters with one of these lovely children, have you? And as you look down, you can see that the children around him, which clearly he has grouped around him, are all sort of shivering. They're all kind of like, they don't like, you can tell they're not looking up at him. They're just sort of standing there, sort of nervously.
I'll take another step forward and
He says, friend, you come one step further, and you're not going to be the only one that faces death.
where is he approximately? Like,
So
can
he
I-
is, yeah, so let me place him down. So he is, hold on just a moment.
We need Fing in here, like now, guys. He has silence.
Yes. So, Arv, if you would shove the cleric in here, please. Not already.
Oh, can someone, I think, Saad, you moved him up before, didn't you?
Are you doing to move him?
Please.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't know where you
because
want me to put him. Like
he
just like-
would be high in the order here because of tactics.
That is true, actually. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I'll say this. You probably know why we're here. We
Oh
wanna
my
know
god!
Yes, you see
We might
him.
not have gotten that
He's
close.
400
okay?
feet tall.
You gotta tell us these things first.
Okay.
So
So
a staff as it is a tree.
so here he is. He's standing. So he's standing facing you, and then around him, he's got.
Of course, he has ads. That bastard.
They're only kids. They're kids, and they're shivering.
I've played enough video games.
Are-
Kids can
are
be
they-
some of the
are they-
scariest
are they-
enemies.
Are they dwarf kids? Or
They look to be, yes, but they look to be sort of like the same age of the group that that you guys had.
Oh, jeez.
the level below.
Yes.
But you said that these are full dwarven children. Is that correct?
No,
Oh, they're
they're
dwarves.
half orc. Yes, they're
Okay.
dorks or dwarks. Yes,
Hey.
that is correct. And hold on a second to get the right one. Okay, we'll do this. But they are little bitty tiny.
My, what a big crossbow you have.
Let's see. God, I hate that.
Slay the children.
Now.
Light them all on
Control your bloodlust. I mean, really.
Okay, so let's see.
Although, that does beg the question what we're supposed to do with them once this is all, like, said and done. Ugh.
I feel like we should just keep killing like parents of stuff, and then open our own little orphanage, and just that's our like trophy collection. Is just all the kids we brought home from.
And we mount their heads on the wall. That was your parent, and that was your mother.
Okay, there you go. So there's where they are, and
It's okay. They were weak. We'll make you strong.
if mommy and daddy were stronger, this would never have happened to them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you want to be like mommy and daddy? No. All right, buck up, good little soldier. And yes, we're a good party.
Yeah, just believe it or not.
You can believe it or we'll kill you.
Okay, so now these three. So yes, so this is where they are now. They don't actually have. They're not actually armed. So
Right.
they're just all sort of standing around him. You can tell.
So
And,
they look kind of like fearful or scared.
yes,
All right.
absolutely terrified might be the better way to put it.
That sounds good. While I'm covered by the three big guys ahead of me, I don't have my bow out, but I am readying a dagger to throw.
Okay, so he says.
But subtly, very subtly.
He says, I don't know who you are or where you think you came from, but it's clear to me that Arvik is not going to have any time for someone like you. Now I'm going to ask you, very casually, very quietly, very politely, to turn around and go back the way you came. You're not going to be able to find Arvik, and even if you could find him, Arvik wouldn't have any time to deal with you. He's a very busy man. He says this all with a, pleasant smile. Very politely.
I think it's time to go in. I charge him.
Hey, that's one way to get his attention.
Hold on.
If I can,
Okay,
I'd like
now-
to throw my knife as soon as Dom charges.
So what happens is, so Dom is right here, right? You're right there. So as you start, you're right. That's you, right, Dom?
Yeah.
Okay. As you start charging, you get in, and actually, let me back you up slightly, because you were about there, say. So you basically are able to get about 5 feet, and then something bashes you in the face. Now you have no idea what it is, but you were like, whoa! Like you just like ran into something, and it wasn't really like a wall. It felt like something punched or slashed you in the face. So I'm going to ask you, first of all, to make a dexterity check. This is to avoid falling backwards, since you did not expect to hit something.
Yep.
For the record, I was going to say that we should go visit the bathroom and have all of our mages rest for 8 hours and then come back and charge them. But
Too late, hot plate.
18.
Don't mind me.
okay.
We're just gonna cuddle up next to the dwarves that are sleeping over.
Very nice. So you sort of stumble back a little bit. So you stumble back a little bit, and you actually take a single point of damage. And whatever it is, you sort of put your hand up to your face, and you see, like, you sort of quickly, you can see, and you guys around you can see that something clawed or slashed you in the face. But you see nothing. I mean, you're just standing there. And
Sweet.
and so, Olan looks at you and kind of chuckles. He says, "Oh, you dwarves are all the same. It's no wonder we subjugated your people like the ants they are." And with that, he sort of backs up, and you see his eyes turn to fire, and you see his cloak sort of swirl and billow around him. And the orc children get really freaked out, and they're all like shivering, and like sort of one of them seems to be crying. And then he looks at you and says, "Roll initiative."
That'd be so great if in a moment
that.
like that, like I know we can't because of rule systems and stuff, but it's just moments like that I'd love for my character to be able to just walk up with his stick and just bash that guy right in the dick.
Well, it's like the Indiana Jones thing, right? It's like the Indiana Jones
Exactly.
thing, like yeah.
Just- yeah, same situation. But anyway, initiative. soon as I can
Initiative
find
is
where-
literally defining actually what has been going on. So it's like you wouldn't actually like the time frame wouldn't work because it's like accounting for that already is the way that
So
works.
who's rolling for Foom?
Yes, that's a good question. Who would
Yeah.
like to roll for Foom? Who would like to roll for?
Foom was in chat earlier, by the way, if you missed it.
Yeah, I actually saw what he said. Yeah.
Okay. Make sure
so
everyone's
I'll get
up.
his sheet up. I'll roll for food.
All right.
Sounds good. Okay. All right. Let's see.
I can't believe my 12 is the lowest initiative so far.
I
Oh,
can't believe I actually won.
Let me get my roll. My quick. Watson roll.
once again.
Crap.
Same as always, huh, guys?
Yep, it's like
No,
he's right here.
it's
It's like
okay.
he's right here with us.
Overall, it was okay.
On the whole, I liked it.
We could have
Okay,
just
let's see.
been like, he goes last. We'll just let him go last.
Mm.
Because then they wouldn't have the crushing disappointment of the roll to stare at.
Exactly. All right, Jeannie, what do you have?
I have 18.
What is your dexterity, please?
15.
God, we're doing this
Okay.
already.
Alrighty. Outstanding. Smeal?
Oh, I don't know. 16.
I don't
Push
know
the
if
button.
it's right there in chat.
I pushed the button. I was like, where do I see this?
Cade. Cade has got a 12. Is that right?
12. Yeah. I'm behind
Cade
the
is like,
dwarf for
what's
crying out
going
loud.
on? Okay.
Terrible.
Let's see. Soleil's got a 21. This is not his first rodeo.
No.
Soleil's like, I expected this.
So, guys, I'm going to be on Swing Wildly to try to hit the invisible guy the entire fight. So, be careful. Watch out for me.
Just like spin like a top with your sword out like this. Like this can only end well.
Indeed.
Right, and
Whoa,
occasionally
man.
your party just pushes you in the direction of the enemies.
Except for that sword.
I'll just like hunker down a little bit and just poke you with my staff, just like in the direction we need you
Yeah,
to
just
go.
start. Yeah, exactly. yeah.
Just head that way a little bit, but here.
Wait, did I just see that Domdor, you rolled that Fing's initiative is 0?
Yeah.
That is correct. You got the worst.
0?
-1.
So literally Fing does not even move. Like, it doesn't exist.
Faith should step in right now. His god should step in and be like, "No, you're not that derpy. Not quite that derpy."
Oh my gosh. Okay. Soleil, you're up first.
All right, can I even make it into the room?
Yes, you should be able to slide past your party. The question is where you're going, though.
Deathy pain ow times happened over here, right?
I mean, I don't know.
So I'm gonna head on this. This is where I'm ending up. So.
Okay, go ahead and move your guy
Excuse
there.
me. Excuse me. Come on, excuse me.
Pardon me, excuse me. Yeah, since those are all your friends, you're able to go by without any trouble. Okay. And?
And the only thing I can do, I'm gonna wait. Let me read. I need half a second of reading. Hold on.
Fireball. No.
Fuck you.
All right, guys, everyone hold your breath.
Wait. Is haste touch or is it within sight? Range 25 feet. Okay. Yeah. Then my little friendly death ball over here, Smeal is getting hasted.
Ah, okay.
Me.
Yes, you.
He's touching your abs. He just wants to touch your abs.
No, it's within range. I don't. No. It's 25 feet. I don't have to touch this one. I'm like that
I
guy.
touch my abs when I think of you. All right. All right. So so you cast haste on him. Blah, 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 blah.
need stuff
Okay, so
that's
what that
doubled.
means is that means that your target speed is doubled. It
Yes.
means you have a +2 bonus to AC.
Yes.
You have advantage on dexterity saving throws, and you get an additional hasted action on each of your turns.
Yes.
And this actually lasts. The hasted action, by the way, can only be used to make a single attack, to disengage, or to hustle. So it can't be used to do. Hustle basically is like run twice.
Not in a
more or less than
casino,
move.
so I don't think I can use that one.
Yes.
Your character
I wanna
just
see him
like,
dance.
whips out a gambling table. It's like, let's do this.
All right. Where's the show? Where's the show? Where's the show? Where's the show? Oh man.
And you can do that
Um,
once each turn, so each time new table.
Just a quick reminder, Soliel, that spell, Soliel, just so a quick reminder, is concentration, so that means that you can't cast another concentration spell with it.
Which
and
is fine, because I'm down to cantrips.
okay, so I'm just letting you know. And it
Yep.
can be disrupted. It'll last up to a minute, unless it's disrupted. Okay, so you feel much faster than you did before. And
The
let's
world
see.
went into a bit of a blur for you.
So let's see. Actually, does that haste? Let me look at that again. What's the bonus on initiative rolls? Just increases dexterity? Okay, it doesn't do that. All right. So your speed is double, but it doesn't change your initiative. Gotcha. Okay. Ginny, you were up next. What do you got?
I'm gonna hit the cast. What is it? Magic missile. And can I split it up, or does it all have to be at the same?
You could split it up. Now the thing is that just so you guys know, the half-orc, dwarf children that are sort of huddled on the ground are not armed, and it is going to be exceedingly difficult to get any kind of like area of effect spell without hitting them as well.
Unless you have sculpt spell.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, so, but it's going to be
might.
difficult to sort of like, otherwise, to avoid. You got them to deal with, basically. Now,
But Ginny, they're non-combatants,
It
basically.
Right,
doesn't.
exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because I done shot my load on the orc army fight. But if I did in this instance have a fireball, I could explode it on him if he doesn't have some sort of magical protection, and I'd be fine.
Prepared for an attack.
How convenient.
Something of that. Yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
gosh.
then I shall. If I cast is this invisible guy still cruising?
I mean, you don't know what it is. You don't know if it was an invisible guy. I mean, maybe just
Okay.
accidentally sawed, Domdor scratched himself. I mean, you have no idea what happened. You just saw him bash backwards and sort of stagger back.
He could have
Because
been
I was
knocked
wondering
back
if
by
I
his own
cast
spear.
Ray of Frost, if he was in between that and the final destination.
True.
That
No
would
idea.
make him somewhat visible.
If you hit him that's correct. If you hit him, but of course you have no idea. But yes, that's true.
Right.
You did label him a him, so there you go.
That's true. Well, it could be just his own hand, but but it was definitely something. It was not just an invisible wall. That's obvious.
Right.
Unless you hit an invisible wall of clawing, which now that I think of it, I should totally make that monster.
You don't need
create
to
an
do that.
invisible wall of clawing. You have found an invisible wall of claw marks. Oh.
All right. Well, then I'll aim the magic missile at him as to not accidentally hit the non-combatants with the
Okay.
Ray of Frost.
Okay. So you're aiming the magic missile at him then.
Yeah.
No, Hilness, I'm not saying that would be an odd thing at all. I'm just preparing myself for the disappointment already.
That's pretty funny. Okay, so they unerringly strike their targets. So dart deals 1d4 plus 1. Blah 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 blah. Okay.
Boom.
Yes. So you may proceed. All right. So go ahead and roll your damage. There
I
are
did.
3 of them. 11 damage. Is that was 1d4 plus 1 3 times?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm actually thinking about charging him and trying to tackle him.
Okay.
Just having like a mage wrestling match. Let's do this. Who can disappoint the other one the worst? Like,
Yeah, no, come on. So it'd be
Okay. So you strike him, and he sort of staggers back. So you definitely did something to him, and he's like, and he sort of looks at you angrily, and he's like, your pitiful magic is nothing before the might of the Red Wizards. And he steps
Heard that
forward. Actually, before he does that, Ginny, are you moving anywhere?
No.
Okay.
I'm kind of staying behind the wall of iron.
Okay. So let's see. What he does is he starts. He takes a step back, and he actually he steps back a little bit, not too far. Just takes one step back, and then he starts weaving with this crooked smile on his face. He starts kind of weaving something in the air, and then he waves his arm like this, and from the ground, a vertical sheet of flame shoots up in front of you. And when I say in front of you, I actually mean right on top of Soliel and Domdor.
yay!
Let me write this.
Wow.
Actually mark where this is. So
well, alrighty then.
let's put this
Yes, please do.
out here.
Maybe we should go wait around the corner for him. Just run around the corner and just wait.
Dude,
You gotta come out sometime.
Can't see us.
do MMO tactics where you like pull him in.
Exactly.
It's like tries to cast a spell, but you go around out of range. So you have to walk in.
You have to wait for the flame to go down, right?
Yeah.
Because he can come towards us.
We
so.
definitely have a chance, repeating, of course, of doing this. Leroy! All right. So.
Nice. That's funny.
It looks like a flaming turd.
Just look like a flaming turd.
You've been struck by a flaming turd. That is accurate.
Just put the flaming turd in my head. Yeah, say how it is.
Well, that is pretty much what happens.
Fire.
Wow. Well, alrighty then. That's gonna hurt.
Oh god, it just gets more stretched.
Taco Bell.
Now it's not even a flaming turd; it's like a flaming turd smear.
Oh god.
Just like a boiling skid mark right across the.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. I don't even know. That was really troubling. I don't even know what just happened in the last 3 seconds. But okay. So you do that, and let's see.
I really don't want to know what this invisible thing looks like now if it did that to us.
Yeah.
Well, no, this seemed to be related directly to what the non-invisible guy did. I mean, you don't know.
Oh,
but...
no, that's the joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see you're like, but then there's this guy.
Really?
Now the true force begins. Okay, so let's see.
First level of the infernal plane. Yeah, kind of.
Okay, ow. Let's see. For Soliel and for Domdor, you guys need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, and actually, I'm sorry. Also, it looks like that's Fing and also Samil. You guys need to make dexterity saving throws as well.
Yeah, you thought you got out of this shit.
You said
John, we're getting echo again.
I have advantage on dex saving throws, right, with haste?
Yes, you do. Yes.
Stick and move. Bitch, I deal with fire all the time.
So it's roll 20 plus dexterity modifier?
Yes. Correct. Okay.
Beautiful.
And let's see. All right, so what have we got?
20.
Your two rolls were 9 and 5.
Hey, man.
Well, all right.
I just roll the dice.
Okay.
That's all I do.
Okay. So Leo, you managed to leap back out of the way. Move your character back a little bit out of the you know.
Out of the. Oh my god, it's so hot.
Right, exactly, next to the wall, basically. There you go. Fing, Domdor, did you roll for Fing also? That's what he got? Okay.
He got 11.
All right. So Fing, Samil, and Domdor, you were able to... What did you roll for yourself? I'm sorry. Oh, you rolled a 10? Oh, my God. Okay. All three of you take a grand total of 12 points of damage from this fire before staggering. Now, at this point, you guys can make a decision, actually. Fing just takes the damage and falls back. For the two of you who are sitting right in the middle of the fire, you can now make a decision if you want to jump forward through the flame or backward. Either way, you're going to have taken the same damage, but the question is what side of it you want to end up on when all said and done.
How much was it again? Sorry, how much?
12.
12, okay.
For anyone who didn't make their save, you get 12.
I'm going to go forward through it. Like,
What's the
stagger
visibility
forward.
through this flaming wall look like? Is it just like a solid sheet of flame?
Yeah, so what it really looks like is it's a solid sheet of flame, sort of, but it's like looking through a roaring, like, inferno, like a fireplace. Like an inferno that basically...
You know what I'm saying?
In other words, it's not
Yeah,
just
like you do.
It's not just like a red wall. It's a wall that allows, as the flames dance around, you can occasionally catch a sight of, you know, the wizard on the other side of it and the room beyond. But it's pretty solid. I mean, it's not the kind of thing where...
Well, okay.
You know,
Let's back up. Because whenever you say Inferno, I've never been, I don't know, like face first with one.
Face versus Inferno.
But,
so what I would say is, if you could imagine when you first start a fire in a fireplace and you were looking at the very...
Well, I've been around a bonfire, and I can see someone on the other side of said bonfire.
Right. Imagine the bonfire being
only
3 times as
tall?
intense, large, and like, yeah, so very tall.
So I'm gonna go take that nap now, guys. You guys can just go ahead and do this. If you're still going when I get back, I'll totally blow them up.
I will say,
Is it floor to ceiling?
It is, no, it's probably about 8 feet high.
Ooh.
So it is not quite floor to ceiling.
Right.
Also, I can't seem to move Fing. Can you move
just
Fing
need
out
a
of the
ring
way,
of
Sod, for me?
Sorry.
I will say that if we take a step back, we can still shoot arrows through the flame. If that makes
Now you're going to be
sense.
doing
Make
it as
flaming arrows.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or they might
Yeah.
it might just consume the arrows as it hits the flaming wall.
Can this flame wall be countered by either Ray of Frost or possibly even Chill Touch?
Ray of Frost is too powerful for it. I mean, it's not powerful enough for it. Chill Touch would require you to touch the wall, and that would do a lot of damage to you, which means it would be difficult for you to actually maintain concentration on the spell. The other thing is that as far as shooting something through it, you could try to shoot an arrow through it, but you are going to be doing it at disadvantage because obviously you can't see very well
I'm just worried
on
about that
side.
invisible creature.
What if we charmed
Hey,
one
Splatter.
of those little guys to just turn around and shank them?
I mean, that's, that is your option. So when he does that, as you get to the other side, he looks at you. He seems a little annoyed, Domdor, that you've gotten past his wall. But he looks at you, he says, "It burns as much as your honor does, doesn't it, dwarf?"
Oh,
Wow.
And then he sort of looks back and gets ready. And as he does that, and as he sees you, he actually grabs one of these orc children around the neck and pulls him in close to him. And the child is like, "Ah, ah." And in Dwarvish, the orc child looks at you and says, "Help."
That's the last thing you'll ever say. Make it count, kid.
All right, Samil, you are looking at a flaming firewall.
Oh man, I'm through it.
Oh, you went through the other side. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Okay. So you were able to jump through. Okay. So you were on the other side. Samil, you're up next, and what you saw exactly what Domdor just saw as well. You also feel the heat of the fire on your back. I will tell you that if you step back any closer, you will take damage from it. So you're like sort of locked in.
All right, so I have 3 attacks that I can do this round because I have haste plus my double attack.
Okay.
You
So the
actually
first
attack. Is it a bonus action or is it a extra action?
It is a, I believe. Hold on, it's not a bonus action. Give me a second because I just read.
I mean,
about
like,
this.
is it because
It would be
'cause he
considered
gets
a bonus action in the new 5th edition rules. In this one, it is called a hasted action. And so a hasted action is cantrip, single attack, disengage, or hustle.
okay? So single attack, which means because his single attack is a double attack, so you can do 4 attacks then, wouldn't it?
Oh, no. Because isn't your double attack like... Can you describe your double attack?
Oh
to
yeah, I
me?
think I do it. I think I do it once a turn. Actually, let me. hold
Yeah,
on.
that's what I was going to say. I don't think... But just check it for me. I'm guessing that it's 3 attacks, but...
Got to get the rule book.
The other
for it up.
situation that you've got, Samil, as well, is that you've got to figure out how to make the attack where you're not going to be at a disadvantage because you have the orc children previously mentioned. The 2 orc children, by the way, that he's not grabbing are just sort of, one of them has fallen to his knees in front of him, and the other one is just sort of like crouched over, but they haven't like moved away from him either.
I got you.
Nuno. He's like, what, he passed? I'm losing my Gandalf powers. I better insult his honor. That's funny.
It just says as an action you can make 2 attacks.
Yeah, this specifically says a single attack, which
Okay.
indicates to
Oh,
me
it says that. All right.
it
yeah,
says single attack because it's a hasted action, which I think is a different category in this
Yep.
version. So
Alright,
I'd
so
say
here's
3
what I'm gonna
attacks are
do.
possible.
because
if
they
you
had to
figure out
fix
what
that
do.
up. That was worded wrong. in the
Yeah, I
beta,
agree. I agree. I
remember.
think in the
A
new
lot of
5th
people
one
were-
it makes a lot more sense.
All right, I'm gonna move as if to attack the sorcerer, but what I'm gonna do is I don't know exactly how this is gonna play out numbers wise, but as I'm running towards him, my mind is going to be looking for that invisible guy. So if that invisible guy hits me,
Okay.
I want my attack to go in the direction of the invisible guy.
Okay, are you holding your sword out in front of you to do that? Like, how are you setting your... I mean, how are
Yeah.
you preparing your... Like, show me how you would run. Like, how would you run forward? Like, how are you running forward with the attack? Do you follow what I'm saying? Like, what...
I am
what
acting as if I'm running towards... Well, I mean, I will be running towards the sorcerer as if to attack him. I don't know if he knows what a sword stance is, but... I mean, the whole purpose of this is to get the invisible guy to attack me.
I got you.
I'm not
Okay.
going to attack the sorcerer at all. I'm just
Okay.
going to make it look that way.
Gotcha.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna
that's
little
my
battle
first
cry
action.
with it. It'll look great.
What?
And actually, hold on 1 second. Let me just check something quick.
That's my first action.
Remember your theatrics, Samuel.
I know, yeah. We We had a good acting class in botany in the botany guild. Yeah.
It was huge. It was clutch. Okay,
That was a
so
natural.
hold on a second. One moment.
I wonder, Smil, is your character vegan? Because I'm wondering, like, are you like fully because you're part of the botany guild? I thought you'd think you'd be a bit strange having someone so well, chiseled.
Well built.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Like,
you
is
guys,
your character a vegan or out of interest?
you
Like,
guys have all that genetically enhanced food going through your system, man. We're all natural over here.
Okay.
I don't know if anything-
all right.
In this world, that would mean that they're the ones that got like beefed up with magic or some shit.
Okay, so
I'm
he's
all
running
natural, man.
towards. So he goes running towards. You go running towards him. Okay, and then how are you actually engaging in the attack? So nothing hits you as you close. in
Nothing
on
hits
him.
me.
No.
Then I shall proceed forth and attack the sorcerer.
Okay. How are you going to do it? Because you have, like, are you on the map? You want to show me, like, are you running around the orc children? How are you attacking him? Like, what are you doing?
Okay.
'Cause he's got the orc children up in front of his, like,
That's
sort of
fine.
like that.
For the two on the ground, I can yell in Dwarvish as I'm going forward to move.
Okay.
And for the kid that he's holding, I don't have any way to get around him, so I'm just gonna have to go through.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. Make a charisma check for me, please.
I'm very charming. I'm +1. Thank you very much.
Person with your impressiveness.
My pecs do the charming. for me.
My pecs do the talking.
And what exactly are you yelling in Dwarvish? Oh, that's good. What are you
Move.
yelling in Dwarvish?
Move.
That's
Get
just
out of the
move.
way.
Out of the
Yeah,
way.
for the- yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, they seem suitably impressed enough that one of them sort of sidles off this way,
My
and this
sword
other one
should,
goes this way. And you see Arvik sort of glares at them, and then you're sort of right on top of him. Okay. So go ahead and now make your attack. Now, are you trying to avoid hitting the orc child as you do this? You're just going
No.
straight up to hit him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. That's not my responsibility, unfortunately.
Okay. So go ahead then and make your rolls.
oh,
Oh boy.
Going so well.
Wah, wah, wah.
See, your sword didn't want you to.
The kid's dead. Yeah, there you go.
attack 2. Don't forget.
He's not going to be well.
Yeah, you got a second attack, right?
Yep. There we go.
Oh,
Wow. All
think
right,
it was
that
a
that hits
19.
by a long way. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Is that a critical or?
no,
he's
he's
rolled
19 or 20 for a crit.
That's good damage. Holy crap.
Sure is. So you strike him a solid blow, and unfortunately, the orc half dwarf orc child bears some of it. And so he, you basically strike him. Massive slash opens up, and he falls to the ground. And the other two half orc children are like, ah! As he drops to the ground. This guy is now dead, and he looks at you, sort of, hate in his eyes, staggering back. Also surprised, because you get the impression that he didn't expect you were going to attack him. And he sort of just looks at you, and he's just like, I see how it is. You kill anyone you can, don't you? You kill anything and anyone who gets in your way. Did y'all see that? Look, dwarf, see what he does to your people. Wait till the knife is in your back, he says.
That makes no sense.
They're not my people.
So...
That was my fault. Okay.
So that's what he says. And then, okay, and the next thing is, Ginny, you hear some strange fluttering past you. You hear some, like that. You don't really know what's going on. And then...
I just kind of say to everyone, did you hear that?
Did you hear that, eh?
Ginny's the
And,
one in the purple cloak, right?
Yes,
Yes.
he is the one in the purple cloak,
Did,
yes.
well, I'll wait for my turn, but
I need you to
gonna
make
say
a...
if I did hear that or not, Arv, on my actual turn.
Okay. So let's see. So he says, hey, you know what? Your friends never liked you, especially the one next to you, the one with the shield and the apple. Does he ever give you an apple? No. Does he ever give you what you want? No. Does he ever let you look at the houses of the dead the way you want? No. You don't need these people anymore. Why don't you work for me? And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Damn it.
That persuasion.
It's charm person, I think it is.
Resist the charm.
Yes.
We can cover up your tracks for killing that kid series. Don't worry about it.
It was an abomination. No worries.
I love Apples in chat is like, what child? I thought he was holding a shield.
We'll send him back looking brand new. Don't worry.
Why? Serious? Why?
No, I would never kill a zombie child, but yeah, the one that he was holding is no problem.
Did you roll your? I'm sorry. Did you roll the thing, Genie, or no?
Oh, wisdom.
Yeah,
Was
wisdom.
that for
Please.
me? I didn't know that one was for me. I'm
No,
sorry.
is that? Yeah, it's you. Yep.
Something's trying to charm your ass off, whispering in your ear.
Oh, jeez.
He's like, I
You
said.
can do it.
All right, wisdom. I have no adjustment.
You can do it.
Straight up.
You
You're
can't do it.
you're right. He never does do anything for me. Those sons of bitches. And so you turn around and he's like, and you're like really angrily look at them. What spells have you got, Genie?
I have one more magic missile and ray of frost.
Okay. So at point blank range, you unload 3 magic missiles right into Fing's side. You're like, screw you, Fing. You never let me play with the dead
Don't let
creatures
me
I
play with
wanted
your
to.
apples.
Blah, 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 blah.
You didn't give me the dead cat in Baldur's Gate.
Wow, man.
So roll your
What
damage, please.
Crap.
You held on to that one for a while.
That was a long time ago.
Well, this is all our fault. He made me carry around that dead baby for how long?
I remember that.
Now he's my
Guys,
friend.
can you hold on to this human skin?
Yeah, the human
yeah.
held on to for
Oh,
a while.
jeez.
Human
We also
skin.
had that vial of liquid that we were determined was going to mean something at some point.
And my nuts.
Yeah, don't forget the nuts.
Do you,
I
sorry,
never actually finished that quest in Baldur's Gate 2. Those nuts.
are you rolling the damage, Genie?
Because you couldn't give them up.
Genie, I need damage.
Damage. Stupid thing.
Oh, that's a nice low roll.
9 damage to Fing. All right.
That's not too bad.
He's on
So- what's he at?
17.
Okay. So he gets hit, blam, 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 in the side. And then as that happens, this all happens, obviously,